Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is currently 6 o'clock in the morning. Luckily I woke up around 4:30 and I was on call. I went on call at 3 a.m. so I was like, let's just check and see what the list is looking like. I was number 38, I think, overall for either a 1 day, a 2 day, or a 3 day. I was number 24 for a 3 day. Okay. And so I'm like, let's just see what this is looking like for today. Guys, I checked the thing and I was the sixth person. I can't talk. I was the sixth person to be called, and there were 15 trips open. So yeah, and I don't know, for some reason last night when I saw that I was 38 overall, I was like, I'm not gonna get used tomorrow. And I have got to stop doing this to myself because I was so annoyed when I saw how many trips were open and I was the sixth person to be called. So that was fun. I was not prepared at all. I have no suitcase packed. I have no meal prep. Luckily I have leftovers from the other night that I can throw in my thing. But luckily my sign-in is not until 10. So I have an hour till I'd like to leave. At the latest I can leave at 7:30. Yes, I'm also doing my makeup in my bed. That's just what kind of day it is. I actually always do my makeup in my bed, so it's always that kind of day. But yeah, luckily it's an easy trip because I was also annoyed this morning because all the trips that were open were mostly turns, and I was like, I'm good for 3 days. So I was like, if they call me this early for a turn. But no, I got a 2 day. It's the easiest 2 day too. Hopefully I don't jinx it, but we do one leg today to New Orleans. We lay over for 18 hours, and then we do one leg back to Charlotte tomorrow, and that's it. That's the whole trip. So, yeah. All right, guys, I just got to the employee garage, and I just happened to look up, the crew list, because I was seeing if I knew any flight attendants that were going to be working with me today. And I know one of the girls, she was just on that turn I just did that I got called for off standby. But we don't have any pilots. So it's 8:54 right now. Our sign-in time is at 10. And pilots and flight attendants, especially if they're starting a trip at the same time, they have the same sign-in time. But we don't have any pilots. So that's awesome because pilots, I'm pretty sure, get a 2-hour call out just like we do. And 9 o'clock, a 2-hour call out. They wouldn't have to be at the airport till 11. And that's when we're supposed to be leaving to head to New Orleans. So that's good for us. So there's a couple things that could happen. They could either delay our flight until they get pilots that can come. Or they could reassign pilots that are on a completely different trip to put them on our trip. We've also got a deadheading first officer, so they may just make him work the flight if he's 737, a 737 pilot, because that's what plane we're on today. And then they might just reassign a captain or short call a captain, I don't know. So yeah, we've got an hour till sign-in. And I may see if the Starbucks line isn't ridiculously long, I may get another coffee. I already had cold brew this morning, but we might be here a while, so I might go get another coffee just in case we're delayed for hours and hours. We can, if a flight is on a rolling delay, once I sign in, you have 3 hours, which I guess since my sign-in is technically 10, so 3 hours from 10, if I don't want to work the trip and we're still delayed, I can call and be like, hey, I've been sitting here. It's called a show no go. So you get paid for 3 hours for sitting at the airport for 3 hours, and then they have to find somebody else to work the trip. If it gets to that point, I don't know what I'll do, just because I drove all the way here. And today is a crapshoot. I don't know what is going on, but there's just tons and tons of trips open here, at least. I don't know how it is for other bases. I haven't looked. But if I'm like, I don't want to be another person to call out and they have to find, because I'm assuming if I called out, like, the rest of the crew would probably call out also. So that's 4 flight attendants they'd have to find to work the trip. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully they just reassign pilots and we leave on time, because I've never done the long New Orleans layover, so I'm like kind of excited to do it. So I'm hoping we get there on time or close to on time so I can go explore New Orleans. But let's go into the airport and I'll keep you guys updated on our pilot situation. Hopefully good news soon to come. So this is the customer service line today. There have been tons of cancellations, so not a good sign, guys. My flight canceled, so I'm about to go to the crew room and try and figure out what I'm supposed to do today. No updates, so I'm eating lunch and watching the Carolina game while we wait to hear from crew scheduling. Alright, they reassigned us, so now we are just gonna deadhead to New Orleans instead of working a flight. This doesn't really look like an airport to me. I don't know, what's it look like? It's just a museum. Yeah, it's just so bright. Okay, I had to get out of that uniform. I've been in it for way too long, so I will show you guys that tomorrow. Today was a day. That's the best way I can put it. And on days like today, when everything is going nuts, you just have to kind of laugh about it, or else you will just be miserable. So we canceled, right? And whenever there's a disruption to your schedule, crew scheduling has to get in contact with you within a certain amount of time, or else you're just released for the day. So it's either from the time of the disruption, or and if it's from the time of the disruption, then it's 3 hours. If it's from the time, or it's from the time in your sign-in, or of your sign-in. So for us, it's whichever one is later. So for us, the disruption happened 5 minutes before our sign-in. So we had to wait 4 hours, because if it's from your sign-in, it's 4 hours. If it's from the disruption, it's 3 hours. So we had to wait 4 hours to hear something from crew scheduling. They ended up reassigning us and putting us on a deadhead to New Orleans at 1:30 something, which was like 30 minutes away from us being released for the day. And they never actually called us, which they're supposed to, but we were just like, whatever, we're just gonna go, because it's kind of looking crazy to get in tomorrow, and I didn't want to be doing this whole thing again tomorrow. So we were like, whatever, we'll just go. And then we get to the hotel and they don't have a reservation to stay here. So I tried to call our hotel limo people, and I was on hold for 30 minutes and it was just no hope in sight to get in touch with anybody. So we have a thing where we can book our own hotels. Like whenever operation is crazy, they'll open it up for us to do that when they know that calls are going to be crazy. I've been told that when you do that, though, it could mess up your rest time. Like they could use you, I don't know, something about they can screw you over that way. So I've always been told, like, don't do that. Try and get in touch with someone. but we also didn't want to waste our whole over trying to get in touch with somebody. So after 30 minutes, we're like, whatever, we're just going to book it and hope that they don't mess with us. But then, guys, it's just one thing after another. So we finally get up to the room, right? But this whole time, so we're a crew of 4. 3 of us had the same exact thing where we do one leg to New Orleans and then just one leg tomorrow and we're done. One of our crew members, though, when we got back to Charlotte tomorrow, was supposed to do 2 more legs, end up in Chicago, and then the 3rd day was going to deadhead home, like to Charlotte. So when they reassigned us on the deadhead, they reassigned the 3 of us, but not her. Like, not our other one that had the different sequence. So tomorrow morning, we're missing a flight attendant for our flight. And we're on a 737, so we need 4 of us. So who even knows if we're gonna be able to make it out of here tomorrow. So yeah, today is just one of those days where you're reminded, never make plans as a flight attendant because you're not guaranteed to do what you're supposed to do. Like, I was really looking forward to my 18 hours here and it got bumped down to 13. So yeah, but we gotta try and stay positive, guys, because if we let it turn negative, then it's just like a dark, dark hole. But anyways, I'm about to shower. I just grabbed some dinner from downstairs. So ate that. I'm gonna take a shower, wipe this day off my body, and then I'm probably gonna go to bed because right now my alarm's gonna go off at 5:30. It's 9 o'clock. If we don't have a crew member yet, I'm gonna call scheduling in the morning before we leave the hotel because I do not want to sit in the airport all day like we did today. But yeah, let's get some rest, guys, because there's no telling what tomorrow is gonna look like. It's just one. All right, one leg today. We're on 737, my least favorite plane. Mainly because the galley is just so tiny. No, come on in.
Thank you. Right.
Okay, our captain is so sweet. He brought us a bag of goodies and he got us each a gift card. The boarding for this flight was ridiculous. I'll have to tell you guys about it later, but it was nuts. Also, we are full today. Not an empty seat to be found. Such a nice day today. Okay, so I've tried to record on the road like 3 times already and my phone keeps falling over, so hopefully we can get through this. But every time the road like dips a little, my phone like falls over, so we'll see how this goes. But we're on our way home. Finding that 4th flight attendant, just like how it happened was a godsend, seriously. So last night we were trying to figure out our hotel situation. This crew came in from, that was Miami based, and their trip had also blown up, and so they, crew scheduling basically lost them, had no idea like where they were, what to do with them. So they ended up booking their own hotel like we had to do. And they were supposed to deadhead somewhere today, which, just a reminder, deadhead is when we're on duty, but we're not actually working the flight. We're just flying as passengers, but we're still like on duty, so we're getting paid for it. But so they were supposed to deadhead somewhere and then work a flight, but their deadhead ended up canceling. So 2 of the flight attendants ended up just getting deadhead home to Miami. One of the flight attendants, I guess, must have called crew scheduling and been like, I was already supposed to work today and tomorrow. Put me on a trip somewhere. Like, I want to fly. I don't want to go home for you guys to give me something crazy tomorrow. And then they ended up pulling the most junior flight attendant, and she had to work our flight with us. So that way that all worked out, because if their flight wouldn't have canceled this morning, we would be stuck in New Orleans right now. because we would have had to wait for them to deadhead a flight attendant, or they would have canceled our flight and we would have just had to wait and deadhead to Charlotte later in the day. So I'm just really thankful that that all worked out. But that boarding was so, I don't even know. So we start boarding and it's literally the slowest boarding ever. Like 10 people would come down, then there would be a break, and then 10 more people, and then a break, and then 10 more people. And we had a full plane to board in 35 minutes. That's 170-something people that had to get on the plane, stow all their stuff, get seated in 30 minutes, and it was going so slow. So we finally get everyone on, and then there were a couple people that hadn't checked in or hadn't scanned on, so we had a bunch of standbys because of the chaos that has been going on these last 2 days with all these flight cancellations. So the gate agents were trying to get, you know, as many people on as they could, but they didn't check seats. So they sent like 14 people on, and then we had multiple seat duplications. Ooh, that was close to my phone. So we had multiple seat duplications, and so that it took us literally 15 minutes to try and figure out like where people needed to go, like, and all this stuff. And then we ended up, they had put one person on and we didn't have a seat for them, and it was a D3, which is a like a flight attendant friend or family member that's using like one of their passes, and she was in her seat, and I had to go tell her like, hey, I'm so sorry, but we don't have a seat for you. Like, the seat is actually, we need it for a passenger, which that's not even my job. I'm not supposed to be the one that does that. So, but the gate agents were really frazzled, and I was like, whatever, I'll just go tell her, like. So I felt so bad because that has happened to me before, and that's like the worst feeling ever. You're like on the plane and you're relieved, you're like, okay, I'm gonna make it, and then they come on and they're like, actually, no, you have to get off, like, we miscalculated. So I felt so bad, but anyways, we were able to make up some time in the air. We landed, like, and we got to the gate, I think 20 minutes late, because we also had to de-ice. So once we finally got all that taken care of, then we had to go sit and wait to de-ice the aircraft because we had frost on one of the wings. So yeah, but at least it was just one leg today, guys, and at least we didn't have to sit in the airport all day and wait for them to tell us like what the heck we were supposed to do like we did yesterday. But I'm just thankful to be on the road, headed home, and that today was an easy day, because after yesterday, we deserved an easy day. I'm gonna wait until I get home though to close out this video, because I haven't shown you guys my uniform in my past couple videos, and you guys have been asking what I've been wearing, so I'll show you guys my uniform when I get home. I did not have time this morning to do that, so I'll show you guys that before I close out the video. Hey gosh, I love you. I just had to put my mirror on my suitcase to show you guys my uniform, but this is what I wore both 2 days, nothing different. I wore my long sleeve dress, the black tights, and my heels. I never actually even changed into my in-flights this whole trip because I only worked one leg. But if you guys learned anything from this trip, I hope it's that if you ever book a flight, it's not guaranteed to go smoothly. And some days it can be a complete chaos, like yesterday. So, and today, I guess. So just remember to be nice to your gate agents, nice to your flight attendants, and your pilots, and your customer service people if you have to deal with them, because a lot of stuff like yesterday and today we had no control over. We just had to roll with the punches too. So just remember, yelling at somebody else never makes things better. And just always remember, when you're booking flights, there's a risk that comes with flying, and why we love when things go out on time and get in on time. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. So yeah, but we got to think of the positives, okay? If you're a flight attendant, if you want to become a flight attendant, if you're in the process of training right now and you're about to be a flight attendant, just remember when you have trips like this where everything blows up and it seems like there is nothing going right, you have to find some good somehow. So like this trip, I got paid 10 hours and I worked 1 hour and a half flight. So see, positive, we love it. It was the easiest, most chaotic flight ever, our trip ever. But we're here, guys. That's just how it goes sometimes. It seemed like it was gonna be glamorous. 18-hour layover turned to chaos and nothing. No good layover this time. But I'm not gonna say that I might not fly anymore this month because clearly that's not gonna be the case. They're probably gonna use me at some point. I'm good for 1 more day this week and then I'm off for 4 days. Then I'm good for 6 days straight. So they're probably definitely gonna get their hands on me at some point during those 6 days. But yeah, that's all I have for this video, guys. I'm gonna cuddle my dog. You wanna cuddle with mom? You wanna cuddle and give love? We're gonna cuddle together. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.